Today's episode is brought to you by DNA Sports Training. If you or someone you know wants to take their game to the next level, then hit up DNA Sports Training. Visit DNASportsDenver.com to book a training session. We offer specialized sports training from football to track and field and everything else in between. Whether you're an offensive or defensive lineman wanting to get off the ball better, or you're an athlete wanting to improve your speed and agility, we have something for you over at DNA. Visit DNASportsDenver.com now and sign up. Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas. What up, brother?
Two jolly fat guys here to bring you some sports talk.
How's it going today?
Day after Christmas, man. Some call it the hangover after Christmas. Yeah. Some of us might be a little more so than others, but even though you're not hungover.
Yeah. Hey, how was your holiday?
I mean, it was good, dude. We kept it simple, hung out, spent time with family, spent time with the kids. Had all my boys over, so it was love.
Yeah.
Yours?
Same, man. Relaxing. Had some family over Christmas Eve. Went to mom's crib on Christmas for some brunch, and then came back home and just relaxed with the fam.
Gotta love Christmas brunch, bruh. It's the best. Anything. I mean, I think I like potluck style eating. You know, especially when people all bring a little something over. So I enjoy it, man. Fat guys always enjoy that kind of thing.
Yeah, it makes it easier on the person hosting. You know what I mean? They don't have to slave in the kitchen all day, even though my mom, shout out to her, she was working hard, put a lot into yesterday's brunch, but everybody brought a little bit of something to help her out, make it a little bit easier. But overall, it was a good party, experience.
We slaved a little bit. My mom slaved a little bit. I have to give her a shout out. Even when she says she's not going to slave, she ends up slaving, doing something. So she made some enchiladas and some beans and chili, and then I made some green pozole. It was good.
Well, it's always a job when you're cooking for that many people. You know what I mean? Like Christmas Eve, Vito was over here cooking, and she was slaving all day, baking and cooking. And by the time she was done cooking, before anybody got here, she's like, "Oh, I feel like I didn't make enough." You know what I mean? So it was like,
that's like the famous words when I'm cooking with my mom. Is this gonna be enough? You think it's gonna be enough? I don't think we're gonna have enough. You should get some more. I don't think. Like, Mom, that tray right there is like 4 times the size of the table. We're gonna have plenty. Like,
maybe she's always asking you to judge like your appetite for the day because she knows how you get down.
She probably is. I mean? That's probably what the realness behind it is.
I'm not asking if it's enough for everybody, baby, but is it enough for you, son?
For you. Damn, Mom doesn't want to break my heart.
Nope.
I respect that though, Mom. Thank you. I appreciate you not trying to ruin my self-esteem anymore or any less.
But just the vibe with family for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas, man. Those are two of my favorite holidays because just the vibe of the meaning of the holidays first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? But just the family, the good food, the good times, and just good spirits, you know what I mean? Like, it's
always great connecting in love, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you're connecting with people and it's just all love and there isn't there's no like agendas or no other bull crap that you guys are going through. Like, it's just all love, dude. There's nothing like that connecting with folks like that. I enjoy it. I love seeing my family. I mentioned we don't get together like we used to.
Yeah.
It's a little disappointing sometimes around this time of the year. Gotta say what up to him still and text him and call him or FaceTime him, whatever. So, but it's good though, the ones that we do get with. And I know everyone. It's like we all grow up, man. All the cousins, we all grow up, and we all have our own families, and we all kind of go our own paths. And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. I think that's kind of a natural cycle for everybody. So, it was good, bro. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. And it does suck. Definitely not catching up with certain people in the family, but you got to respect that and know, like you said, that they have their own families who have families.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
and plus sometimes my family is good not to get everybody together.
Yeah, it's hard juggling and bringing everybody together, but again, it's also stressful.
It's stressful.
That many people with their extended families into one party and then doing a big party.
That's one thing that gets me about the holidays too, is the stress with it. I think some people feel the need to have to go all out or go above and beyond, and sometimes you can see people kind of competing with other people or thinking they have to be on that same level. That can be a little a little disappointing for me too, like a little stressful for me because I don't know. I think sometimes people don't need to be on that. I think, we talked about it before where it's the presence around the tree, not under the tree that matters.
Yeah.
And, it's for some people that are going through it, they don't have the money to go to make it happen.
For sure.
And so it's always love to them, always love to the single parents that are, jumping through hoops to make sure their kids enjoy the day and to make sure their kids have a special memory for that day. And I can think back to all the times mom and pops jumped through hoops to try to make sure we had special memories. So shout out to all the parents out there, man. You guys made it through. We made it.
Yeah, for sure. And you talk about we made it, man. 2022 is already approaching the end, brother. Like,
Dude.
This year flew by, right? We launched DNA. We're on episode number 20. Life's good, families are good, but this year just went by quick, bro. It seems like since COVID, really, it's 2020.
It's all been going
It's
by
been
fast.
going by like a blur, bro. And you got to appreciate the time that you have with your loved ones, with your family, because
sure.
time flies by too quick. Appreciate all the small things in life. Really, everybody's always looking for that big blessing in life. Like, oh, please bless me. I'm going through these hard times. Count those little blessings.
I always say, dude, when we're coaching and we're working with young people or we're working with people in general, I always talk about the small victories.
Yeah.
Getting them small victories and then stacking them because, everyone wants to go for the big punch right away and the big knockout. And sometimes you got to work the body.
Yeah.
You got to stack them victories, break it down a little bit. And then when the time is right, then you can strike, right? We got to stop discrediting the small victories, man. They're just as important as the big ones.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the New Year's resolution, right? That's why no one's ever successful because they're like, oh, I'm going to set this outlandish goal for myself by the end of the year, and by 6 months in, you're already done.
Do you do resolutions?
I do, but I like to do it in I don't like to speak about it, first of all, because then it puts pressure on you, you know what I'm saying? But internally, I like to set resolutions for myself on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Like, each month I'm going to try to accomplish this towards my big end goal towards the end of the year, right? So if I set expectation of saving a certain amount of money, I'll break that down into 12 months and say, okay, each month I need to save this amount of money. So that way at the end of the year, I hit that goal. You know what I mean? Set the ceiling a little bit lower and then constantly achieve it. So that way I feel good within my accomplishments throughout the year.
That's not a bad idea, man. I mean, I think goal setting is super important, especially if you're trying to accomplish things and you need evidence, you need tangible evidence of you achieving what you're trying to achieve, right? Like, I think if you set your goals and you follow through with them and you kind of you write them down, or even if you record them to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's important to be able to have that accountability. It's also important to announce them to other people, though, too, because I think other people keeping you accountable, an accountability buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an important thing to have, man. I think sometimes we need a partner to keep us on track, to keep us going. So I know I have some goals for this new year. I'd like to hit. I know I didn't hit some of the goals I had last year, but I think that's part of it too, though, right? That's like playing the game of football. You got wins, you got losses. Sometimes you hit your goals, sometimes you don't. But I think as long as you keep continuing to try to make something happen, you keep continuing to try to hit that goal or try to make that goal happen, it's not too much of failure, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just learning how to get there. So,
And at the same time, there's nothing wrong with coming up right underneath your goal, right? Especially when you're talking about New Year's resolutions. If you're talking about, I want to lose 100 pounds or 50 pounds, you know what I'm saying? If you lose 49,
yeah,
hey, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you still worked your butt off to get to your close to your goal. You know, you may not accomplish the full goal, but still don't sell yourself short because
go sit on the can for a half hour.
You ate an extra plate on Thanksgiving and your 50 pounds went to 49 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's something about trying, bro. There's something about putting the effort forth. And, I think you set the goal obviously you set the goal with the mindset of reaching your goals. But again, there's no, man, if you don't reach your goal and you didn't try at all, then that's on you, right? But if you reach your goal, you busted ass, and you come super close to your goal, maybe you didn't hit it. I mean, that's victory in itself right there, bro. Like, yeah, I get you didn't reach the actual goal you were set yourself at, but you busted your ass to try to do something. That's saying more than a lot of people can say, right? And it's getting up, getting out, and doing it. And that's always my goal every year, is just to be a better man, be a better father, be a better person, and try to give myself the tools I need to do that. So it'll be my goal again this year. I have some other ones that I'll share with you in private. But I think that's the goal always, is just try to be better, right?
Yep. And the thing is, too, right, there's nothing wrong. We spoke about this last week. There's nothing wrong with failure.
Yep.
Right? So set your goal to be a little bit higher than you realistically think you could accomplish. Chase perfection. Fall to greatness. Yep. You know what I'm saying? If you don't accomplish that 100 pounds that you set, it's really hard for anybody to drop 100 pounds in a year. You know what I mean? Especially in our older ages.
Yep.
If you get to 70 pounds, you're chasing perfection, but you still lost 70 freaking pounds. So,
well, maybe if you set this grand goal, maybe you should set some smaller goals to support that grand goal.
Along the way,
right?
Checkpoints.
Like, hey, say you want to lose 50 pounds, right? Maybe you should set up I'm going to go work out every day this week. On these days, I'm going to do cardio. On these days, I'm going to do this on these days. Like, I think if you set your main goal up for success, right, you empower it with small victories and kind of small steps to get there. It doesn't become this daunting mountain to climb. It becomes something that you gradually accomplished over the period of time. And also, it takes your mind off it. I think if you have one singular large goal that your mind's on, it can be kind of it can be hypnotizing. It can kind of capture you, and it can be aggravating if you don't get there. So I think, again, support your big goals with small ones too, and that way, as you build, you reach your goal, right? Crazy couple weeks, man, since we've been on last. NFL going crazy, getting right into the playoffs. Fantasy, some of us got bounced. Some of us are about to get bounced.
Yeah, I got bounced.
We got the college signing period started. We'll get into that a little bit later. Obviously, we're talking about Christmas time and New Year's coming up. It's always fun to get around. Argentina won a World Cup.
Yeah,
Their
man.
first World Cup since the 80s.
Obviously, we're very hopeful, cheering for U.S., but everybody that follows the World Cup knows that U.S. men's soccer is not what you should be cheering for. They're not really that. They're not going to get it done.
Let me know when the ladies get on.
The history speaks for itself. We cheer for women's soccer more than for men's, you know what I mean, when it comes to World Cup time. But, man.
I didn't realize how big the gap was, dude. Like, I watch the World Cup every time it comes on. That's probably the most soccer I watch. I don't usually watch soccer. But to see the gap between the U.S. national team and its players and then these other teams across the world, like, I think our highest ranked player on the U.S. national teams was Pulsnik, and I think he's ranked like 49th in the world.
Yeah.
And you got like France that has like 2 or 3 top 10 guys. You got Argentina, they got like 2 or 3 top 25 guys. Like, it's a big gap, man. And shout out to Messi, because I know there's been a lot of questions on whether or not he can ever win the big one like that. And that was the only thing really missing from his resume, was a World Cup victory and World Cup championship. So he got that. Big ups, man. Like,
and they beat a good France team to win it, bro. France is a great team, bro.
Dude.
Their depth, like you said, is ridiculous, and so is Argentina's has good depth. But that game was a really good game. Came down to penalty kicks, bro. But some of the things that Messi is able to do on the field is just ridiculous. Some of the kicks, like the kicking angles he takes, like, you don't expect somebody to kick a goal at certain times, and he does it. It's just ridiculous, bro. But
what got me was all the upsets, bro. Like Croatia beating Brazil. I know Croatia was a semifinal, or took second in the World Cup, the last one. But you just don't expect to see them beat Brazil, especially with the talent Brazil has and how they were running down the field and just dominating teams. And then, Spain being upset, I believe, by Morocco was another crazy one, because Spain was a really good team. I actually thought Spain and France would meet up and play each other for that right to go. But France was really good. Mbappe's like that dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's always interesting. Like I said, I don't follow soccer a lot. I follow it because I'm a sports fan.
Yeah.
But when the World Cup comes around, I'm always watching the World Cup.
Yeah. World Cup.
I think it's competition at the greatest heights, right?
Yeah.
Competition at the greatest heights.
Oh, yeah,
They're
for
the best in the world. Like, you got to tune in for that.
It's even more impressive, and I don't know if I spoke about this on the pod, but I have speaking about this lately, is the officials. Bro, those dudes are in shape to be keeping up with the soccer game. Like, I get tired watching a soccer game on TV, let alone being in it. And these dudes are just constantly running back and forth and back and forth. So
The one thing I hate, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
The one thing I hate, this is my bitching about the World Cup.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how many times I seen a player die on the field,
Flop.
and then get up.
Flop.
You're like, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, wait, you didn't see? Okay, I'm all right.
Oh, soccer players are the worst at flopping, bro. Like, you think you see, like, some of the NBA players that we speak about sometimes are floppers, you know what I'm saying? But soccer players are the worst. Like,
speaking of the NBA, it was early in the World Cup. LeBron wasn't getting some calls in a game, and he referenced the World Cup, and he's like, maybe I got to learn how to flop.
Yeah.
And I love the internet because the internet's undefeated because the internet posted several videos of LeBron just flopping.
Yeah.
Flopping. And dude, that gets me going, dude. Like, you can't call this sport football and then be rolling on the ground like you're dead.
Yeah.
You know, even just off a side bump. So I don't know, man. You know, what can you do? World Cup is, soccer is still the most popular sport in the world. Cristiano Ronaldo was like offered I think it was like something like almost $700 million to go play in Saudi Arabia for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And there was conflicting reports saying that he was gonna accept the offer, and then he wasn't gonna accept the offer. $700 million. That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild. And that's on top of the money he's already made.
Yeah.
So
And you know what else is wild and what else has been popping off lately is Avatar. You seen the new Avatar?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I'm going to.
Wow.
But I've been recommended to watch it in 3D.
You should. I personally watched the first one, the first original Avatar, the best 3D movie that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think those movies are truly invented for 3D, and you shouldn't watch it in anything other than 3D.
There's some movies that is just like, this needs to be seen like this.
Yeah. I did see the new one in a normal fashion. It was a good movie, but I have to go back and watch it in 3D. Great movie, man.
Dude,
amazing movie.
Crazy.
The thing is it's not making the numbers that they were anticipating. This movie is a long time making, a lot of money into this movie.
Well, how much were they thinking? Because I was just reading they made like $850 million.
Well, it's not even close to the original numbers and the goals that they set based off expectations of Avatar 1. And I've heard if it doesn't make enough money, they may scrap the whole Avatar series as a whole, and we may not see Avatar 3.
See, I was also reading, though, that James Cameron is already shooting scenes for Avatar 3 and Avatar 4 because he doesn't want that, he called it the Stranger Things effect, where he has these characters that are aging, and you can, obviously, with like CGI, you can kind of change their face to make them look younger, but you can't change their height and their size, when they're filming or whatnot. So apparently he's already been shooting for 3 and 4 just to keep that age down.
And that's kind of how it was for 2 during 1.
Yeah, because I remember 2 was supposed to come out years ago, right?
Yeah, they were already filming Avatar 2 when they released Avatar 1. So it makes sense because if you watch the movies, man, the graphics and the CGI that it's put into it is just phenomenal. So it makes sense that it would take that amount of time and that amount of money to make it, but it also makes sense that they set this expectation of if we don't get to a certain point, we're going to kibosh it.
That might get people to it's like the last minute, hey, the devil's going to win the election, you better go vote. And get everybody out there,
I did pull up the box office numbers, though, and they did score $90 million over the holiday weekend, even with...
Maybe that's what it was, 90.
Yeah, even with and that was just the holiday weekend, so they might be at that
that's
point
wild,
that you
man. That's
went.
a lot of money.
Yeah, even with the frigid weather, bro, all across the country. Like, you watch football games, and every game feels like negative temperature.
I had... Wednesday, I got off work, right, and driving around. I got a couple of Christmas gifts I had to buy, like the white elephant gift and whatnot. So we had to go to the store, and it started like I left work at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and my temperature in my car said 50 degrees, and I get to like a mile down the road, and this wind's blowing in. It's hazy. It's cold. By the time I got home, my temperature in my car dipped down to 20.
Yeah, bro.
And it was a matter of like 25 minutes, bro.
Yeah, so I was off Thursday and Friday, but I got off on Wednesday, and I had to go to the store, right? So I went to the store. Before I was at the store, it was like decent, not really cold, nice day on Wednesday. Kind of the afternoon was a nice day. Walked out of the store was waiting to turn out of the parking lot. The dude in front of me took forever to turn, by the way. You're a horrible driver. If you know who this is, it's like, oh, yeah, that's how he knows.
Wait a minute, that was me, dude.
Yeah. But while we're sitting there, bro, it was just like a storm cloud came in. It turned from light to dark, and then all of a sudden, wind was blowing like crazy.
It was like some sci-fi shit, dude. The wind, because I was watching, because across the street from my job, there's this big American flag.
Yeah,
I know. It's always flying, right? Yeah. And the wind was blowing west to east, and then like way it switched up, it started blowing east to west, bro. Yeah. It's like in Colorado, like I don't know if you know about this, like we get what's called them easterly winds, right? And when them snowstorms come in, and that wind's blowing east to west, those are always the worst because it blows up against the mountains and it just like cycles over each other, right?
Yeah.
It was cold, man. I got the opportunity to work from home on Thursday.
Yeah.
I took it.
Yeah, hey, I don't blame you,
frigid.
Bro. I was so glad that I had Thursday off, because I didn't have to wake up. I didn't have to worry about going into work. Realistically, I probably would have called in anyway. I ain't going front. Everybody in my department did. Yeah. They kind of took the opportunity to stay home, except for one person went in and she did her thing. Shout out to you.
Are you guys busy around the holidays?
We are, but my job is very understanding in things like this. Like they say, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel safe leaving your home, stay home. You'll have to use PTO, but they don't like, oh, you stood home, shame on you type thing. You know what I mean? They'd rather have people safe and production still flowing, because there are people who live right within the vicinity of the factory that can go right into work, and then there's other people that are traveling from Aurora, from south, you know what I mean, from over here in Westminster. So there's quite a bit of travel. You know what's crazy about the Avatar movie though?
What's up?
Watching it, it's crazy how uncomfortable we as Americans are when we don't truly understand something. And what I mean by that, right, takes us back to the indigenous people and back in the day, the white man, so to speak, come in and take over something that doesn't belong to them or that they don't truly understand, so they're afraid of it, so they have to strike while the iron is hot, so that way they're not exposed or vulnerable, you know what I mean? And watching a movie like Avatar, you kind of see that play out in front of you, just in the movie itself. And so, like, it's just crazy, man, to see that and then to think about, like,
it exposes the nature of man.
Yeah, the history of man. Like, we really do things like this. Like, these movies aren't, yes, it's blue people, and we probably won't ever run into blue people like that. However, it still tells a story of history, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of scary. Even talk about soccer, right? Like, soccer's been called football since the beginning of time, but we create a sport that we call football. Why? We don't use our feet like soccer do. No. So why did we take their name and turn it into American football?
Because people were rolling on the ground dying even though they didn't die.
Yeah.
That's why, bro.
Yeah. Now, there's probably legitimate reasons, but the point is like, we're bullies, bro. We're kind of bullies.
I think you're right on that. There's something to that. Like, it's an American thing, right? Like, I mean, but I think before America, like, it was other countries that did. I mean, the Romans used to do that shit back in the day. Sure. You know what I mean? Like you said, that's the nature
of man,
of human, right? My ex-father-in-law, shout out to Manny. We used to always talk about different things, man. And dude used to always be like, there's always going to want to be somebody that's the top dog, regardless. Like,
the alpha.
We can share resources. We can come together in harmony and peace, and it won't be enough because there's always going to be somebody that wants to be that top dog,
Yep.
But talking about the Avatar deal, the other thing we got going on this week, man, the last couple of weeks is NFL getting into the playoff mode, bro. And I know our teams are starting to disappoint a little bit. It's kind of getting a little sad. Not quite as sad as what the Broncos did yesterday, which was just completely crazy. I've never seen them come out like that.
You know what's crazy, bro, is my team obviously sucks too, the Raiders. But we were here on Christmas Eve and we had people over, right? And you know what I don't like, bro, is like when somebody goes too hard for a team that isn't theirs. You know what I'm saying? So like we're watching the Raider game and anything positive the Steelers could do, even though they looked horrible. I had 10 people in my house cheering for the Steelers, like if they were Steelers fans. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? So it was kind of nice, I'm not going to lie, to have the Broncos lose in the fashion that they lost.
Were you cheering for the Rams?
To a team that we beat, you know what I mean? How they lost, bro. Oh, no, actually, we lost.
Yeah,
we lost to Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield got you last play.
Yeah, but last minute, bro. They beat them 51 to what?
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
51 to what? Like, Russ
had
looked
3
bad.
interceptions. I don't think they should have played him.
Yeah, but then they bring in, what's his name? Rippin. And he ripped the interception, pick 6, right to the Rams on the very first throw. So, like,
the only team I've watched this year that has a worse offensive line than the Broncos is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're just worse, period, overall. Like, the Broncos, bro, like, not being a Bronco hater, they're just bad.
They're a bad team. They got bad coaching. Their head coach doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Excuse my French. Don't know what he's doing. Can't hack it for sure. Yeah,
it's bad, bro. Like, even being a Raider fan, like, you usually want to cheer for, you know,
the West.
Cheer. Well, in the playoff time, you know, cheer for somebody to be successful out of the West, so that way, you know, our division brings it back home.
Yep.
But even though it's a big rivalry, you typically are like, you know, fuck the Broncos, fuck the Raiders, fuck the Chiefs. And that's the story that happened on Christmas Eve. Everybody cheering against the Raiders. Yep. It's not that they were Steelers fans. It's just fuck the Raiders.
Cheered against the Raiders, yeah.
You know what I mean? But, bro, sometimes I feel bad for Bronco fans watching it. Like, we suck.
Dude.
But they are on the verge of not being qualified as an NFL team. Like, if they don't get
relegated,
if they don't get the number 1 pick because Houston is really bad anyway, I think the record doesn't say how bad the Broncos truly are. Like, they should be the number 1 overall pick.
They beat Houston, but they barely beat Houston, right? They beat who they beat last week. It was I forget who they beat last week, but nonetheless, dude, like, they get I don't know, they get going, man, and it's all unorganized. There's no discipline. Did you see yesterday after the game?
No.
So apparently during the game, like, Randy Gregory's just acting a fool. He slammed his helmet multiple times and just arguing. Well, after the game, he took a punch at one of the offensive linemen for the Rams. There was a scuffle. They were interviewing Baker Mayfield, and a little scuffle broke out. And it was Randy Gregory trying to throw punches. And then he's like, yeah, I hit that fool, you know, talking shit. And it's just, from the top down, there's no organization. Yeah. It's all undisciplined. And I don't care who you are. Eventually, if you don't have discipline, it's going to show itself and it's going to unravel. Yeah. And it has unraveled here. But the playoffs coming up, man. Hopefully my Dolphins can sneak in. I don't know, man. Buffalo and Kansas City look like they're destined to meet each other in the AFC Championship. And then don't look now, but freaking Aaron Rodgers has the pack back in the chase and possibly vying for a playoff spot. We might be right. We might be right about 4 teams from one division making the playoffs, though.
Yeah, and I honestly think it is going to shape out to be that. You know, but the Chiefs, you said the Chiefs and the Bills look like they're running it. Your Dolphins kind of sneaking in. Bro, I'll say this, like, this year, it doesn't seem like, to me anyway, like, there's a clear
it's definitely wide open
winner out of any division. I think any given Sunday is truly going to be any given Sunday this year, or Saturday. You know how we kind of like to skip things up. But I don't know if I'm totally confident that the Bills and Chiefs can beat the Dolphins, can beat.
Well, you know what's dope is the playoffs started right
now.
now.
If the Bengals sneak in there,
they're hot.
The Chargers sneak in there.
Yeah.
Like, you got teams that can really make some moves. The Titans are still in there. Like,
dude, they're falling apart though.
They are falling apart. Like,
they fired their GM like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and they haven't won since.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't mess with shit until the off season, bro. Yeah. Like, don't upset the apple cart, right? You're dominating your division in a weak division, and now the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take over that division, and it's possible that they're going to sneak in and win that division. Trevor Lawrence going to get his first division title. I mean, he's looking good. He's looking like Doug Peterson, like, did football rehab with Trevor Lawrence. Like, he looks night and day compared to what he did last year. And again, goes back to coaching, right?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of upset with that division, and that's what sucks about football too, is that one team from every division has to make it. You know what I mean? When you have teams like the Chargers who are on the bubble, the Bengals who are on the bubble, the Jets who are on the bubble, who had all these good years, but you're going to get a team like the Jaguars that make it into the playoffs and are probably going to get beat round one.
Look at the NFC South. At best, the NFC South will finish 9-8 for the division title. At best, and it's probably highly doubtful that that'll happen.
Yeah, like a Baker Mayfield-less Carolina Panthers is realistically probably going to win that division.
Over Tom Brady.
Which
is wild. One other thing though, man, if the playoffs started today, the Chiefs and the Dolphins would play each other. I think it'd be dope. Although I don't like the prospects of playing the Chiefs, I think it'd be dope to seeing Tyreek go back to Kansas City and
lighten their ass up.
Light them up, bro. Just light them up.
Oh, I'm with you on there. See, like I said, like I don't know, bro. I just cheer for good football. You know what I mean? So, like, I
think that's the best thing about the playoffs.
Yeah, I hope that whoever gets to the playoffs, we see two teams make it to the Super Bowl that are going to give us an exciting show.
You know, right? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't want a lopsided robbery like we've seen in the past with the Chiefs and not the Chiefs, with the Falcons and the Patriots, right? Story of two halves. Yeah. We're up a big amount, and then Matt Ryan lets
don't do it.
Tom Brady come back and rob him. You know what I mean? So, like,
I didn't want to bring this up, but speaking of Matt Ryan, you realize he has now the largest comeback in regular season or any game period against him, and then the largest comeback in the Super Bowl against him. Last week the Colts the Colts were up 33-0 on the Vikings, bro, and they lost.
You want to know something funnier?
What?
Bro, I am not bullshitting. So DJ and I play Madden together a lot, right? There's this thing you can do as a franchise where you draft certain players to your team and you get to go. Our quarterbacks were Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins, right? And Matt Ryan was our starter. Dominant team, bro. We lost one game all year. Well, let me tell you about that one game we lost all year. We were up big in the first half, probably about 21-7 or something, maybe 24-7, I think, actually. And DJ said, Dad, it was starting towards the second half. You can see the other teams getting momentum. He's like, Dad, we're about to pull Matt Ryan. I'm like, what do you mean we got Matt Ryan? He's like, they're going to come back and beat us. Bro, no bullshit. They came back and beat us in that game. So Matt Ryan has lost the Super Bowl. He's lost the Colts to the Vikings, and he has a great deficit on our Madden franchise as well. God. So Matt Ryan, bro, you're screwed. You're scarred for life, brother. You're not getting away from that.
So besides the Broncos and Raiders, you know who else isn't making it to the playoffs this year? The Chiefs superfan.
Oh, yeah. Well, he might be making it to the playoffs of the longest yard.
So if y'all haven't heard about this, man, Xavier Babudar is known as a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan who dresses up as a wolf to attend home and road games. But he is also now accused of bank robbery in Oklahoma. So on December 16th, the police arrested Babador in Oklahoma at about 10:15 and charged him with numerous offenses, including armed robbery. He's suspected of robbing Tulsa Teachers Credit Union in town earlier that morning. According to the police report, his bond was set at $200,000. He is charged with wearing a mask and commission of a felony. Babador faces charges of possession of a firearm, commission of a felony, and threatened action of violence. He was wearing his Chiefs mask.
I was going to say he was wearing his super fan mask, bro. Like, how are you going to get away with something when you're known as a super fan, and then you go in and you're robbing banks? That's like Orange Vader going in and doing that. You know, shout out to Orange Vader. We know he don't get down like that, but still, a figure of the community, right? Going on the road and robbing people and not thinking you're going to ever get outed, bro. Like, what are you thinking? So the Chiefs have been going into people's houses, right, and kicking their ass all year long. And to add insult to injury, their super fan is going to their local bank and robbing them as well. Like, this is crazy, bro. What are we coming to? Like, but hey, that just shows that even these super fans, right, they're just regular people, bro.
Well, and apparently he was posting on his Twitter like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to have the funds to make it out to Houston and this and that and da-da-da. And then all of a sudden he was on his way to Houston.
You know, I always wondered, like, how do those super fans afford to be super fans and not only have season tickets that are very expensive, but travel with the team. And if they don't get paid by the team, well, now we figured it out.
It said when Babador wasn't present at the Chiefs game in Houston and also wasn't posting during the game, some fans began to worry about him. As it turns out, he was in legal hot water.
Yeah.
Dude, it just goes to show you some of these people do crazy things for their favorite team, man. I don't think I've ever thought about robbing, a credit union or a bank to go see my team play, but I'm not a super fan either. I don't dress up like these people do.
What does this do for the future of super fans? Let me ask you that. Does it hurt? Does it hurt them, right? Do the Chiefs want another super fan who they're going to associate their organization with, essentially, even though they're not a part of the organization, right? They're tied to the organization, right? The Chiefs' name's getting ran through the mud with this as well.
Yeah, but I think fans go out and do stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, like the Raider fan who was yelling at that Patriot friend.
Well, it's like the Bronco. There's some Bronco fans a couple years ago that got in a fight with people, and I think someone ended up getting stabbed and killed. Like, fans do, especially when
they're people
get drunk at football games. People get lit at football games, and so I think.
So you're saying he was drunk, and that's what led.
No. I'm saying he was broke and needed to go see the Chiefs in Houston, and he thought, Oklahoma's along the way. I'll stop, rob this bank, and I'll be in Houston.
Houston, we have a problem.
The problem was he fucking wore his Chiefs hat, his Chiefs mask. Like
the problem, kids, is that he went and decided that he wanted to rob a bank.
Listen, kids, save your pennies in your piggy banks like good young boys and girls, and then you'll be able to go be a super fan too.
Do you think they're going to pay for his legal team?
Chiefs, Chiefs, I did this for y'all. Come pay my legal fees. Hopefully, he has some money saved over from his bank robbing, because now they're wondering if he's done this before.
Oh no, I've heard that there's a string of incidents that might be tied to
similar,
him.
Unsolved.
Yeah, so he might be in a little bit more deep water than he thinks.
Bro, you can kick your feet and stay above water because you're screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, bank robbery alone is like 10 to 20 years. And then he used a weapon. Like, man, he's done. He's done. And it's unfortunate, man. Like, people do stupid things all the time. It's just unfortunate you have to be this desperate to go keep this persona alive and to be able to make the game. Sometimes you just got to understand what your lane is, and you can't deviate from your lane. You got to stay in your lane.
Yeah, there's plenty of super fans at the liberty of their own couches. You know what I mean? So, like, be a super fan at home, bro. Don't go above your means and catch a felony because you want to watch a football team, bro. Like,
this is true.
Crazy.
It doesn't make sense to me. A lot of things don't make sense to me that people do, but, it is what it is. Just want to give a quick shout out to Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers. Shout out to our boy AJ Gallegos. If you didn't hear the last episode, we had him on last episode kind of talking about his venture. If you need a nice little cut, get cleaned up, nice little fade, nice little beard trim or something, go hit up Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers off of 38th and Pierce in Wheat Ridge. Make sure you hit up AJ at cocutthroat.com. Get your appointment booked, get set up, man. Shout out to AJ for hosting us over there. Went over to his grand opening event. It was very fun. Watched a little football, talked a little football with his dad and some of the other folks over there, some of the folks from our coaching line, and it's good. It was good to see him. Good to see they're open and doing their thing, man. So make sure you check them out. Go get you a cut. Go get faded up and cleaned up real nice.
Yeah, for sure, man. Go check them out. I wasn't able to make it out to the grand opening. I had prior engagements already. Kind of bummed about it. Me and AJ go way back, so I wanted to support my boy. But, this is the way we're going to support is by always shouting him out, shouting out his company. And for you guys who are wondering, I know you're skeptical. If you're like me, am I going to go to this place and get a good cut, bro? AJ's one of the best in the game. So if you want a good fade, you know what I mean, good taper, even the Edgars we heard on the episode, he'll do whatever you need, bro. He's a man of many skills when it comes to using those clippers and scissors. So make sure you hit him up at Cutthroat Barbers and get you a fresh cut.
He had a great little tagline. Said, great stories, better cuts.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of cutting it up right now and being on a tear,
Woo.
How about them Nuggets, bro?
Hey, man, I have to allegedly, like, pirate Nugget games now because, they like to take them off of cable television in our own state. I don't get
ridiculous.
It. It's all about money. It's ridiculous. We can't watch our own team. But man, this game was actually televised because it was Christmas.
Dude, it's
game,
ABC.
bro. It went to overtime.
You know what I was glad of, dude? Because like this Christmas game against the Suns, Nuggets won 128-125. Aaron Gordon posterized a kid in the closing minutes of the game. Jokic had another triple-double, another 40-point triple-double, his second in a week, 41, 15, and 15, I believe is what his final numbers were. But, what's awesome about this is a lot of times when they're on national TV, they don't show up.
Yeah.
And it was great to see them show up, show out, and Jokic come through with a big game, bro. It's hard for me to say anybody else is MVP, and I'm biased as can be, bro. But this what he's done over the last like 2 weeks has just been ridiculous, off the charts. He notched his 7th triple double of the season.
Bro, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Screw MVP, right? DJ and I were talking. We do this a lot in football. We do this a lot in basketball. We were talking about, Dad, he asked me, if you could name your all-time starting five, who would it be? My question for you is not who would be your all-time starting five, but would Nikola Jokic be in that top five? Because for me, when I started thinking about it, bro, like there's argument to put him in my top five already right now, currently as he stands.
Yeah.
Like he has truly transformed that position. He's like, what position is he? Like, right? He's the jack of all trades, bro. Like,
yeah.
He's not your prototypical big guy.
He needs one thing.
He needs a ring. He does need a ring, but
needs a ring.
But bro, like the things that he's been able to do, sometimes there's greats in all sporting in the history of sports that play on bad teams that never get a ring, but are true goats and Hall of Famers of their position.
Dude, he's
Dan Marino.
Yeah. He's the best passing big man I've ever seen. Ever. I think he can take that that crown already. His scoring ability is ridiculous. He takes the ugliest, most off 1 foot shots
and makes them
and just swishes them, bro. Like, he's incredible, dude. His ability to pass and his ability to find the open guy. They were pointed out in the broadcast yesterday. Richard Jefferson was pointing it out about how when the Nuggets don't have him on the court, they're like the worst team in the league. Yeah. And when he's on the court, they're the best team in the league.
Some of his jumpers, bro, remind me of like a Dirk Nowitzki. Like, he just ugly.
He reminds me of that dude at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
It's just making garbage all day. You know what I mean? You're like, how the hell is this guy sinking these? But, I mean, he's super talented. And if you think about his evolution from when he came in the league to where he's at now, he was kind of chunkier, a little bit heavier, out of shape. And then he's turned himself. Yeah, he's turned himself into this monster. And, it's not a question to me whether or not he's top 5 in the league right now. I think he's arguably the best player in the league right now, and I know there's some really good ones out there. I know Jason Tatum's killing it right now, and I know Giannis, you can never go against Giannis too much. But in my opinion, dude, Jokic is the best center in the game and arguably top 5 player in the league right now.
And he's most impactful for his team. Like, if you take some of those other guys away from those teams, they're still decent teams. Like, you just said it.
Yep.
The Nuggets don't have him on the court. They're the worst team in the league, bro. Yep. And that's what sucks about sports, right? Because we talk about you just said he needed a ring to be on that all-time great list. That's what sucks about sports, bro, is that we're Nuggets fans, right? So the selfish, biased Nuggets fans that we are want him to be a Nugget forever and hope that we can eventually bring the pieces around him to make us a championship team to get him one of those rings.
True.
But, sometimes it's better for the player to go chase that ring, pull a LeBron, go to a super team.
Well, that's kind of the NBA.
And get that ring, you know what I mean? Because, like, at the end of the day, like, you wanna root for the player and hope for their career and success, but at the end of the day, you want your team to be the champ. So you really don't want him to go anywhere else, So that's what sucks about sports, bro, is like you find yourself in between rooting for a team and rooting for a player.
Yeah, and especially because he's homegrown here, man. We drafted him. Oh, Dominic just dropped his head.
Yeah, just rolled out of the shorts and hit the floor. Sorry.
We drafted him though, you know what I mean, and like he's our homegrown guy. You know what I mean. This is our guy, and it's exciting to see him grow. We want to see him win a championship with the Nuggets. The Nuggets have never been there. They've never won a championship, so the possibility of that happening this year is a lot higher than in years past, just because they've got the dude. And then you would mix in Jamal, a healthy Jamal, and their two player game is just ridiculous, bro. Pick and roll is always there, and then if you double Jokic, he's going to pitch it to somebody that's open and going to bust that three. The one player, and I'll get back to Nikola's split over the last few games, but the one player that's flying under the radar for us, and he's starting to finally get some publicity nationally, is Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, for sure,
dude.
bro.
Aaron Gordon has had a great season. I don't know if he's on pace for like his most points scored. I don't think he is, but his field goal percentage, he's at a 61% clip right now. He's just been super efficient. He had 7 dunks in the game yesterday. He's playing with energy. He's playing with energy on the defensive side. It's definitely, they need that third person. Right, they have Jamal and they have Nikola. They need someone else, and Michael Porter, he's too inconsistent to be that guy. Aaron Gordon is that dude, man, right now, and I'm super excited to see how he's playing, because this was kind of what we were wondering if we were going to get. You know, we were wondering if we were going to get this kind of performance out of Aaron Gordon when we traded for him, and when it looked so promising when we traded for him. But the last 10 games for Nikola Jokic, okay, he's averaging 30 points a game, 30.6 points per game. He's averaging 10 assists and 13 rebounds, right? 13.4 rebounds. He's also thrown in there a block and 2 steals.
Yeah.
I mean, and coincidentally, those last 10 games, you know, has been part of the Nuggets' ascension, part of the rise in raising up to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They've won 4 straight. They've won 7 of their last 8, all on the back of Nikola and Aaron Gordon. And like I said, Jamal's starting to come alive. It's starting to look good, man. I'm excited. I'm hoping that we don't peak too soon, and I'm hoping that we stay healthy.
Well, you know, you speaking of health, I question, did that have any impact in this game as far as the Suns not having a completely healthy Devin Booker?
Yeah.
You know, he only lasted about 4 to 5 minutes of the game. I don't forget the exact amount. I think he
was out quick.
Yeah, he scored 2 points in the entire game after coming off of a big performance in New Orleans the previous start. You know what I mean? So he's nursing that groin injury. Do you think that this 125 to 128 finish result is cutting it too close to a Phoenix Sun teams without Devin Booker?
They're still a good team. Without Devin Booker, I mean,
but he scored 58 against New Orleans.
Yeah, and CP3 is a great guard, and he knows how to find people and when they're open. It's hard to say. I definitely think it's not the same playing without him. Like, I think if they had him,
sure.
But at the same time though, that Shamet kid, he scored 31. How many of them points does he give Devin Booker's on the court?
Yeah, you're
does
right.
he get them looks at them threes that he had to close out overtime and almost bring them back? Does he get them looks if Devin Booker's on the court? You know, there's a lot of things that change. The dynamic changes a lot. You know, Devin Booker's arguably, you know, their best player, probably their best player, and he's one of the top players in the league. So it's hard to say. But I'm going to be a fan here and say nah.
Yeah, you know, another good thing, right? You want to be a fan. Another good thing about the Nuggets that you didn't mention, you mentioned primetime games we normally suck. Christmas games.
Yeah.
2-6 in Christmas games.
I didn't realize that.
The only other win was in 1994 against the Seattle Supersonics.
I remember that game. I was watching. No,
bro. So I would imagine, you know, Christmas hasn't been too good for the Nuggets
we
either.
We must have had the Supersonics number in '94 because that's when we bounced them in the playoffs too.
Yeah, so maybe we're, you know, maybe we're turning over a new leaf.
You know, it was just exciting to see, bro. I was glad they didn't come out flat. You know, they came out flat against the Lakers about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago on national TV, and you know, lost to an Anthony Davis-less Lakers team, and it was kind of disappointing that they went that route. But I'm excited. You know, like I said, Gordon's finally living up to that $100 million contract, and hopefully we can stay healthy and just get through the playoffs, man. And we'll be celebrating with the ship, man. That's the ultimate goal, right? Have a parade downtown for the Nuggies, man. That's what we were shooting for.
Yeah. You know what? Before we get off of the NBA real quick,
Yo.
I know we're not big fans of LeBron, right? But bro, the team that Sierra Canyon has this year with Bronny James, that team is legit, bro. They've always been a good team, right? I don't know if you follow
Yeah.
any basketball at that level or not, but man, dude, Bryce and Bronny James are looking good. They have this other kid, I forget his name, who's just a phenomenal player as well. And the 1-2 combo of Bronny and that other kid are just ridiculous. So, shouts out to them and all of Sierra Canyon. Let's see if they can make some noise and actually get that title done this year.
That team's loaded, bro. And I don't, I'd be lying if I say I follow them like religiously or anything like that. They're a really good team. They get out and play a lot of good teams, and I don't know, man. It'd be interesting to see. I know they want, like, LeBron wants to play with Bronny.
Yeah,
and he's getting to that point where he's starting to get some college looks, and he'll have to go play for a year. It's interesting to see, bro. These kids come up, and it's crazy to think LeBron's been in the league that long.
I know, and that he's already to the point of contemplating retirement, right? I seen, what's he have, 5 rings?
4.
He has 4. Kobe has 5. Jordan has 6. That's the way it goes. That's the breakdown of the greats, right? The
He's
GOATs.
got like 7 losses, though, in the finals.
Yeah, but he's still in the conversation of GOATs.
Got like 7 losses in the finals.
We don't like it.
7 losses.
You're a LeBron hater. We get it.
Not a LeBron hater.
Right?
I appreciate LeBron.
But he's still in the conversation. If you
I'll
ask,
tell you what.
If you ask somebody from our generation, we're gonna say who.
You know why there's salt here in Denver for LeBron? Do you want to know legitimately where it started?
Because they took Carmelo instead of LeBron.
No. 2003, their rookie season, Carmelo and LeBron. Carmelo averaged more points.
Oh yeah, he died.
More rebounds,
but didn't get the love.
And LeBron won the Rookie of the Year. Carmelo got his team to the playoffs. Cavs didn't. And LeBron won Rookie of the Year. I think that's where a lot of the salt comes from Denver fans. Well, I think LeBron's a great – and now that he's on the Lakers, obviously. And then the stuff pushing himself to other teams and whatnot. But, I mean, I think he's a great player, man. Definitely top 10, top 5 player of all time.
Let's keep it real. We talked about us as man, right? How there's always going to be somebody who wants to be that top dog, but there's also always going to be a bunch of people who hate on that top dog, whether they like it or not, bro. And that's what's happening. People hate Tom Brady. Is the same reason why people hate LeBron James.
I think I've come more to appreciate him over the years.
Tom Brady?
Both. Like, I hated Tom Brady.
But that's because you're respecting their greatness, right? You hated him for all those years because you're like, damn.
Well, it's like Kobe. I hated Kobe,
he's not as good as he is, just because he's a Laker, too.
Yeah, that's big reason.
He's not as good as he is, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you got to give flowers when flowers are due.
Yeah.
He going to be in that conversation, like I said
mean, he
earlier.
should end up as the all-time leading scorer in the NBA.
If you ask anybody from your generation, they're going to say Jordan without a doubt.
Yep.
If you ask anybody from my generation, they're probably going to throw in a Kobe here and there. And then if you ask anybody...
Like you that much younger than me, asshole.
I am. And then if you ask anybody from, these younger generations, they're going to say LeBron all day, bro. Like,
all right, here you go. Jokic at center.
Okay.
Duncan at power forward.
Ooh.
LeBron at small forward. Kobe at shooting guard. And we'll keep it old school. We'll go John Stockton at point guard. What's beating that?
I think there's some out there.
I'm sure there is.
I think you left off the Dennis Rodmans of the world.
Shaq, Rodman, Jordan.
The Admiral.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got Jordan. You didn't even mention Curry.
Yeah.
Guys like Reggie Miller.
Yeah. I know who I left out. I was just coming off the top, though.
You said Stockton, right? Did you say Stockton?
Yeah, I did.
But you didn't mention his counterpart.
I didn't mention the
Hornacek or the mailman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's that's
Could you imagine a team with LeBron and Jokic on it?
That would be fucking ridiculous. And the thing is they're in the same generation. That could happen, bro.
And like, you wouldn't have to, LeBron wouldn't have to feel so inclined to set up shop as much, because like he sets up a lot. He's the same player as Jokic in terms of the way he sets his team up, his passing ability. He's got a really good passing ability for being such a great scorer. That would be a wild little combination.
How come I feel like they would fight? I don't feel like they just don't feel like they're two of the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. When I look at Jokic, bro, he reminds me of like Ivan Drago. And I'm sorry if I'm profiling a little bit.
Are you saying that LeBron is Creed?
Apollo? No, I ain't gonna go that far. But nah, bro, like I just don't. I don't know. It might be like a pull and the
one thing about Jokic, bro, is it seems like his personality. It seems like his personality meshes with a lot of people. He doesn't have it. He doesn't seem like he has big ego.
Yeah, but his brothers ain't playing.
His brothers aren't joking. That's good security.
Yeah. Nah, but it would be amazing, bro, if you had a team like LeBron, right? You had LeBron, you had Jokic, you threw
LeBron, Jokic, and Jamal.
even Poole, right? You throw Poole in there with
Jordan
them.
Poole's great.
Yeah, he's ridiculous, bro. You throw in Devin Booker with them.
Yeah.
There's so many, like,
Well, you can't get too many personalities though.
yeah,
You
you
get
can't.
a lot of personalities, then someone wants to. Well, I mean, that's like the Lakers of 02.
That's why you threw Stockton into yours,
did.
right? He's the
Someone who
level
don't
head.
need to score. He just needs to facilitate.
Yeah,
you got 3 facilitators on the court.
And you didn't put Kerr in there because you know he's already been punched by Jordan, so you didn't want to get the situation of him getting.
Kirk can coach. He'll be the coach for the team.
Yeah.
How about that? We'll bring
I
our
got Phil, bro. Phil got some, or
see. Phil might be the best one with all them personalities because he's
Phil.
always been good at coaching personalities.
Pat Riley.
Let's go get Red Auerbach.
Yep. Or I'm drawing a blank for the Spurs all time.
Popovich. Coach Pop.
There
man.
it is.
Come on, dog.
Yeah, bro. Like there's.
That dude's been a coach for the Spurs for almost like freaking 20-something years
That's
now.
crazy that we could just sit here and talk about sports, right? It's easy to do with basketball, but like if you're like, oh well, if you could put together a 52-man roster right now, who would it be? Like we'd be here for days, but it's easier to name a starting 5 lineup.
Well, with hoop, it's 5 versus 11, bro.
Yeah,
you know, you can mention all that, Louis.
Hey, bro, it's a powerful thing, right? A lot of people are going to talk about it. There's going to be haters.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be the haters out there
sir.
who see things and like, oh, well, why are they allowed to use these certain things to entice players to come play for their program? Well, why are NBA teams allowed to use LeBron James as a enticing piece to bring in attracting athletes to their program?
If y'all haven't been paying attention to Colorado football, collegiate football, there's a lot of things been changing. As you know, Coach Deion Sanders was hired on by the CU Buffalo's football team to be their head coach. He put together an amazing staff, bro. The staff that he's put together is former head coaches, former offensive coordinators. But now he's doing what he said he was going to do. He's bringing that Louis. And according to 24/7 Sports, 24/7 Sports, he's got the number 23 overall ranked recruiting class this year, and he's got the number 3 ranked transfer recruiting class. So what that tells me, the transfer one, is we're expecting to play right away. We're expecting to go. And he was talking to the Boulder camera, and he was saying that his team was going to be comprised of like 40% like JUCO transfers, like graduate transfers, 40% people that reach the transfer portal, and then 20% of high school recruits this year. And he's going heavy in the transfer portal. But his ability, bro, to flip some of these athletes, he showed that over at Jackson State when he first got on over there, and he's continued to do it. And he flipped Travis Hunter from Jackson State, having to transfer here. Travis Hunter was the number 1 overall recruit last year, and then he got Dylan Edwards, a 4-star running back who was committed to Notre Dame, to flip his commitment and come to CU. Now he's got Omarion Miller, which is one of the higher ranked wide receivers, 4-star wide receiver, to flip his commitment, and he's coming to CU. It's seeing what he's putting together, man, at the skill positions. It's pretty crazy. He's got some players coming in. They rank behind just Michigan and Florida State in terms of the transfer portal signees. But it's exciting. It's exciting to see what they're doing up there. Shadir Sanders is going to be their best quarterback recruited. But
they got a few other ones in.
They did.
Well, to back him up.
That's what I like, because when we had Coach Hawkins here, he brought in his son Cody Hawkins, right, and didn't do the due diligence really to recruit other quarterbacks. He didn't try to find other quarterbacks that can possibly unseat his kid, right? And it seems like that's not the problem with Deion right now. He's bringing in highly ranked quarterbacks. He brought the kid in from West Ranch High School, Ryan Staub, who's 6'1", 190. 3-star, but he's highly ranked in quarterback. He brought in you said a transfer from, was it North Carolina State?
Yeah, I was looking for it. I couldn't find him, but I seen it on on their social media, and I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find him. But even recruiting, you said it. They have. I don't know if you mentioned Omarion Miller.
Yeah.
Number 4-star recruit, wide receiver, great kid. They're bringing in all this young talent as well as old talent to kind of mesh together, and he's building a program, bro. Like
they got Vontae Bentley from Clemson to transfer over. He's a 4-star high school recruit. He was highly ranked in the transfer portal. Got an edge rusher from West Virginia coming over. It's incredible, man. Like he literally, the floodgates open. He got Jimmy Horn to transfer over from South Florida. Jimmy Horn was a 4-star recruit in the transfer portal. He's 3-star coming out of high school. Really solid wide receiver.
Comes from a lineage of talent.
Dude,
right?
I'm excited to see what they do at the skill position now.
Yeah,
they're gonna be stacked.
Well, I'm excited to see what his son does, bro. And with all that talent around him, right? Jackson is Jackson, and they had talent down there, but now it's a different level of competition.
Yep.
Different level of transfers coming in, different level of skill, and it's exciting to see what Colorado football is going to be. It's even bringing attention to CSU. Whether you believe it or not, they're getting in a few transfers here and there. So the fact that there's opportunities and the conversation around Colorado football is heightening, that it's just going to draw attention to all these other schools as well.
Yeah, man. Locally, shout out to a couple kids that we coached against. Was it Marsalis Honeycutt?
Yeah.
He signed with Eastern Washington.
He did.
Is it Silas Green? Wide receiver over there at GW.
Yep.
He signed with Colorado State. So it's cool to see the state picking up some players. But man, college football is going to be fun around here. Again, the number 23 ranked recruiting class overall. Obviously, Alabama and Georgia, they reign supreme. They're always up there. But man, hey, we're coming. Like Coach Prime said, we're coming, and I'm excited to see what the games are going to be like this year. Just to see. Hopefully, it's not a 2-year pit stop, and even if it is, man, like maybe we can build something that can continue on. It seems like he's left Jackson State in a better place. I don't know that they have any kind of funding that's going to be able to keep it afloat and keep it moving like that, but it's definitely a lot more resources here at Colorado. Pac-12 is going to be interesting, especially when USC and UCLA leave next year. They're prime, no pun intended. They're prime for a surge to the top of the Pac-12. And it may not happen this season. It might be a lot to ask for this season, but man, you know what? I can't wait to see them play USC. Can't wait to see Caleb Williams line up against Shedeur and see what happens. And I'm interested to see if Shiloh comes. I know Shiloh's still back at Jackson State, and he's got some conflicting things because he's a drum major over there on the band, and that's a big thing. So, it's all good.
Yeah, bands and thing like that, and out east in the south, it's much different than here.
Well, some would argue that the drum line at Jackson State's bigger than the football team.
Yeah.
And up until Coach Prime got there, it probably was.
Yeah.
And that lot can be said about some of them SWAC schools. And we'll see though, man. Super thankful for it to be happening. Like I said, we're locking down recruits. The coaching, the Glazier clinic should be fun. The CU coaches clinic should be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully, get to take part in both of those this year.
I'm curious to see, is Glazier going to reach out to one of the coaches on the CU staff to be a speaker? Presenter. I was gonna say presentation.
Words are hard.
Yeah. So it's gonna be exciting, man. Like their defense too, bro. They're stacking up that defense. They got Shane Cokes and they got Vontae Bentley. Like they're getting a lot of transfers in, and Vontae Bentley came over from Clemson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like they're just getting every player that played at Jackson State.
No, they're getting players that played on the big scale.
Players that played on the big scale that may not have got the looks, or maybe they did get the looks there, and they're just like, you know what, we're coming too, Prime.
Yeah, I mean, he created a buzz around here.
Hey, you know what is a buzz around here? Do you follow Shannon Sharp's social media at all?
No.
Did you check out the little interview that Shannon Sharp did with
I was watching a little bit of it. It's pretty good.
Bro, it was funny when they were talking about his feet, though.
Yeah.
Because, Prime had turf toe that led to more health issues with him to where they amputated his big toes.
Yeah, he almost lost his leg.
Yeah, so he has 8 toes. His leg looks almost like Alex Smith's leg after he had all his surgery. I think they're totally different surgeries and things like that. But, bro, when you get around 2 friends, that's like you walking in and seeing that I have 8 toes. You know what I mean? So
you getting
Sharp was getting him, bro. Like, and it's cool to see like that kind of attention, right? Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're in Colorado, so a guy like Shannon Sharp is royalty here.
Yeah.
But it's same with Cordell, right? He's on the phone with Cordell Stewart. He's reaching out to all these Colorado legends.
Yep.
To
be around the program,
to be a part of Colorado history, you know what I mean, and to be around their program, to draw in the attention, to draw in the boosters and the money, and just show that these players that, we're in Colorado. You may not think Colorado's very good. They won 1 game last year, but these guys, Cordell Stewart, Shannon Sharp, you know what I mean? They played football in Colorado, and they were successful at both levels. So,
it's interesting. You've seen him going around to all these different like coffee shops and restaurants up in Boulder. I think that's smart.
It is,
because you kind of put it on their radar, especially some of the ones that have a little money to give to the program or maybe give some NIL deals, right? So you go and get in good graces with these establishments, and next thing you know, they're donating to the team, or they're hey, you know what, we can give some NIL deals for these guys if they do this on social media. Like, the NIL's changed a lot. It's the Wild West right now. Like, this transfer portal thing is crazy, and the way these guys can just go up and leave. And I think it'll iron itself out. There's been some, people alleging that, money's being offered to all these different kids to switch schools and to leave their school for an NIL deal, and it's kind of where we're at right now. And I think that stuff will get ironed out. But I like it. It's offered some. It's leveling the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And the social media aspect of it, bro. Like, his son's social media platform is booming. It's been booming, obviously, but it's booming even more now. I'm sure his views are going up. I'm sure his money's getting right. Like, he's making money of his own to where he could potentially even be somebody who's like, you know what, Pops, I want to give so-and-so an NIL deal based from my, you know what I mean, my platform.
Well, the thing is, too, with that, bro, like, Prime is smart in that aspect of using social media. These kids, I say like I'm an old head, but I am an old head. These kids
want it.
They love social media, love TikTok, love Instagram, love Facebook, Twitter, all that shit. So like, how can you not use that as a platform? You don't see very many coaches doing that, and now you're starting to see more and more. And I won't say that Coach Prime started that, because obviously coaches used Twitter before then, but I think he's taken it and bumped it up a notch as a primary source, of recruiting in a primary. So look, the kid that was supposed to sign with Miami, and I don't know if he ever did or not, the defensive back, right? The number 1 ranked defensive back in this class. He didn't sign with Miami. He kind of defected a little bit. They were looking for him, and Coach Prime is on Instagram tagging him, talking about I ain't hard to find.
Yeah,
and it's like, yo, that's genius. And you got to use all avenues.
It really is, bro. And in all honesty, it builds more of a foundation for them as far as a fan base goes as well. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
If you think about, like, let's talk about guys like Justin Fields. I've been watching Justin Fields for a very long time based off of QB1. It's another show, where they had Justin Fields. They had who's the other kid? He's played for Bishop Gorman.
I had a few. Was it?
They had Jake Fromm, who went
was
to
it
Georgia.
JT Daniels?
I don't know if JT Daniels. They had Spencer Rattler on there, who's quarterback in. He's at
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, he was
now.
at Oklahoma.
But like the other kid was a big kid from Bishop Gorman. I forget his name. Blake something. He went to Ohio State. Didn't do good. He's bouncing around the portal as well.
Okay.
Currently, but anyway, like I've been watching Justin Fields since QB1, right? watched him into his collegiate career and following him now that he's in the pros, bro. And I'm a fan. I'm not a Bears fan by any means, far from it. You know what I mean? But I am a fan of Justin Fields, and I watch and I follow, and I hope that he has continued success throughout his career. And that's all based off of the show that I seen him in when he was a high school kid. You know what I mean? So like this kind of networking and attention for these athletes is a blessing to them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because it can really elevate their career outside of football.
Yeah.
It could turn to, them being a social media platform.
Everyone wants to be an influencer these days.
Influencer, you know what I mean? Like, so you never know, bro. I think what he's doing is just great for.
Well, and when you go somewhere where you're going to have a platform, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be platformed, whether it's to speak on some of these, a lot of people have like social issues that they
Anxiety.
love to speak on, and they're very active socially. And, you come to Colorado, Boulder's a very progressive city, very open-minded city. It might be a little too open-minded, sometimes a little too progressive, but it's still that, right? And you can take this platform now and use it for whatever you want to use it for. And let's be honest, I mean, that's not going anywhere. People are always going to use social media from here on out to kind of be a soapbox or a platform to speak on what they want to speak on. And you got a coach who arguably does it the best out of anybody, and he has a whole staff put together just for social media. Like, you're going to get your attention. People are going to know about you. Also scouts. Like, I wonder, like, when, like last couple of years, how many scouts were coming and watching players from CU?
Yeah.
How many people were, obviously if you stand out, you stand out at that level, right? But how many people are going to just like casually watch a Colorado game? Now you're going to see a lot of people tuning in. I was seeing something that like CU swag was like up 700%, like officially branded Colorado gear was up 700% from the year previous. Like, that's going to be a big impact, and it's not just going to be an impact for the team, but the city in itself, right? All them establishments around that city, the restaurants, the eateries, the drinkeries, the buses that go up there, the ripple effect that it makes in that area, dude. It's going to be great. I'm excited.
Boulder is going to be booming in the fall.
Yeah.
It's going to be booming all around there. I mean,
and it's a beautiful place to watch football.
Yeah, it already is booming. You know what I mean? Even with their record that it was,
yeah.
Boulder still was coming out. The faithful was still out there doing what they have to do. So the faithful will still be there, and now you're going to have a bunch of these fans who are just coming because of Prime.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and
let's go.
So we're here
Nebraska.
for it, bro.
Let's go.
It's gonna be an exciting season this year to just watch it kind of all pan out in front of our eyes.
Well, Dom, it's coming down to that time of the podcast where we got to hop up out here and get to our daddy duties and family duties, man. But mailbag question for you, and this one comes from me, and I'll answer it too. But holidays are always a great reminder of things to be grateful for. We talked about a little bit earlier about getting together with family and, just being in the presence of good people and being in the presence of love. This holiday season, what do you find yourself most thankful for?
Man, that's tough because I'm one who likes to count all the little blessings in life, right? So obviously I'm thankful for my family. That's a given. I'm thankful for my family, my loved ones, my job, like as much as it sucks every day to wake up, I'm sure tomorrow I'm going to wake up and be like, man, I don't feel like going to work. But I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful for the roof over my head, the clothes on my family's back. But really, bro, I'm thankful for you, brother.
Oh, damn.
I'm thankful for this platform. I'm thankful for our friendship, bro. Like, I'm a kind of person who doesn't really call people my friend very often, you know what I'm saying? And people like that, because I just have trust issues growing up. And since we've met, bro, it's always been a genuine connection. It's always been real. It's never been sugar-coated. It is what it is with us.
Yeah.
And we always hold each other up, and pick each other up when we're down a little bit, and also keep it real for each other when we're getting a little too big-headed. Yeah. And I appreciate having someone like that in my life. I'm appreciative for DNA and where this could potentially go, where it's at right now, getting the good feedback that we get from people when we do get it from our viewers.
Yep.
And I couldn't be any more blessed, man. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank your family.
It's all love, man.
Without them, none of this is possible, brother. So thank you.
Ditto on that, man. I appreciate you, brother. It's been a great run so far, and I look forward to many more. and always thankful for your family. Your family shows so much love, man. Like, it was just when I came in today and you wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Vita came out, said what up. Yeah, that's how Christmas was. That's how the kids are doing. That's how the family was doing. That's love, man. And so I'm definitely appreciative of that. And like you, man, appreciative of my family, my ability to wake up every day and have a job, be able to provide for my family, be able to get up and bitch about life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't do that. I'm just thankful, man, just to be like thankful for the opportunity to be better every day and to try to find myself to be better. I'm also thankful for this coming year. You know, I think the new year always brings out this feeling of like new year, new me, or new year, new opportunity. Like, this is the year that I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And, you know, I feel that too. But at the same time, man, I'm just thankful to see another one. Yeah. You know, it's 2023. Some folks, I'm 39. I'll be 40 this year. We hit the big 40. Some people don't live that long, especially where we're from. Some people don't live that long, and some people can't speak about living that long. So just thankful for that, man. Thankful for the opportunity to be able to get up on here, chop shop, talk sports, talk life, talk, you know, movies, whatever, man. There's never a structure to what we have to talk about on this podcast, and I'm thankful for that, man. And just can't wait to get into some more, man. Like, this has been the thing. I'm also thankful for CU football.
Yeah, you know, and further to do, like, we can't go anywhere without saying that we're thankful for you out there, right? We're thankful for our viewers, our listeners, our all of our clients that book sessions with us. Even if you don't book sessions, we're thankful for the shares. We're thankful for everybody, you know, sharing our podcast episodes, sharing our website, buying merch, whatever you're doing out there to support us. We're thankful for that, because our goal is to continue to build this and continue to support the community with our platform and our coaching abilities. So the more love that you guys give to us, the better we are. You know, we'll be nothing without you. So we can't say that we're thankful for anything if we don't say we're thankful for you.
It always starts with the people, man. And with that being said, bro, just once again, thanks to all of our listeners. Thanks to our viewers, our likers. You know, shout out to Rebel Promotions. Shout out to Black Sevens.
Arsenal Custom Apparel.
Shout out to Shar. Lash All Beauty. Shout out to Colorado Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers.
Janice's Catering, man. Like, shout out to our family. Thank you for sacrificing all that you do for us.
For sure.
And
shout out to you, brother. We'll get this in one more time again.
Yeah, hey, and don't forget to go to dnasportsdenver.com, book a session, check out a podcast, get some merch, drop a mailbag question, or just even look at the photos, man. Just get our views up on the website. Just check us out, man. Show love. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Be safe out there. We're out to the next one.
Holla at you on 2023. Peace.